Hello everyone, I'm Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Iowa. Today, I'm going to make a fun fold using Nature's Harvest stamp set. Now through the end of November, you can join my Rustic Barn Stampers for $75. You can sign up, and for that $75, you are able to choose $125 a product. And that's your choice from the mini and or the annual catalog. So that's $50 free. It includes free shipping, although you do pay tax on the $75. And there's lots of perks with to joining my team. We have a special Facebook group. We get together for a team meeting every month. Plus, we share card ideas and stamp together on Zoom. As a demonstrator, you will receive your catalogs early. You can pre-order early before regular customers. There's no strings attached. So again, reach out to me if this interests you. It's a perfect time. If you've thought about joining Stampin' Up, give it a try and see if you like it or not. All right, let's go ahead and make our card. I'm going to be using Very Vanilla for my card base. And I'm going to place this in here, and I'm going to cut this at 4 1/4. And then I can use this for another card, so I'm going to set that aside. And then I am going to turn my card, and I'm going to open up the arm, because I'm going to trim this at 10 inches. So I'm going to place it on the 10-inch mark. And I can use this for a sentiment for another card. Now I'm going to score this at 5 1/2. So I'm going to slide this to 5 1/2. And I'm going to use the lighter blade, which is our trimmer blade. And now I'm going to place this at the 3 1/4. But I am not going to score it all the way down. So I'm going to place it at 3 1/4. And I'm going to score 1 1/2. So I'm going to put my scoring blade up here, and I'm going to go 1 1/2. So I'm going to score down to 1 1/2, and I have that on the side here. And if you go up and down several times, so 1 1/2. And now I'm going to move this to 7 3/4. And I'm going to put my scoring blade below my cardstock, and I'm going to score 1 1/2, but I'm going to score it up. So I can use this right here. And then I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to turn my cardstock the long way, and I'm going to place this at 2 5/8, which is 1 mark after the 2 1/2. Then I'm going to close. I'm going to get my trimmer. I'm going to get my scorer out of the blade, because I'm going to use my cutting blade now. And then I'm going to move my blade down to my 1 1/2 inch, because I'm going to start right at that score line of that 1 1/2 inch. And I'm going to cut from this score line down to the score line on the bottom. All right, let's see what we have. Now, if your score lines don't go quite all the way to your cutting line, you can go ahead and put that back in and score it right up there if you need to, which I need to a little bit. But that's okay. It'll work out. All right, let's move this out of the way, and then I'll fold our card. We're going to fold this in half. We're going to fold this in half, and then we're going to fold this the other way. Then we're going to fold this back. So we folded this piece this way, and this piece the other way. This piece and this piece are folded the same. And then this will be folded like this. So it's going to lay like this. And then this is our card base, and it stands up like this. So how awesome is that? All right, let's go ahead and decorate our card base. Before we do that, you want to bring in your bone folder, and you will want to go ahead and let's get our edges nice and crisp. So go ahead and just go ahead and use your bone folder on all of your fold lines. I'm going to be using Nature's Harvest Bundle. This is a stamp set with gorgeous flowers and sentiments, sending healing thoughts. May nature's beauty bring peace to your soul. Thank you. A reminder to never forget how much you mean to me and so many others. Good luck. And then you just kind of have this to be great for a background stamp, or to make the stamp to make your own DSP. And then the harvest dies. Not only do you have the dies that cut out this large image, which is right here that I'm going to use, but you have other flower images and some grass maybe, and then you have also, this cuts out the image here on your stamp set, and you have two label dies that you can use to go around your sentiments. And then I'm going to be using the Harvest Metal Designer Series paper, and I've been using this quite a bit, so I don't have a lot left, but it is really, really pretty, as you can see. And then on the back side, and this is the DSP I'm going to use today. So really, really pretty. So we are ready to put our card together, or to start our card. Misty Moonlight is the ink that I'm going to use. I'm going to bring in our large stamp and a scrap of, actually I don't want basic white, I want a scrap of Very Vanilla. Okay, so this scrap is about 3.5 by 5, and since it's a large stamp, I'm going to pick up my Misty Moonlight ink pad and apply ink like this. And I can see that I have it covered well, so then I'll pick this up, and because it's a large block, I'm going to turn it this way, so it works better for me with both my hands, and I'm going to place it down here, and then I'm going to make sure it has a good even pressure. I'm going to hang on to the Very Vanilla cardstock and then go straight up using my block. And we have a very nice image. And then I'm going to place our die, and remember the smooth side is up facing you, and then this is going to go through our cut and emboss machine. And this is what we have, so I'll lay that right here. And then I'm going to go ahead and bring in Very Vanilla so we can stamp our sentiment. And this is 3.5 by 1 1/4. And I'm going to be using A reminder to never forget how much you mean to me and so many others. And I'm going to use my grid paper and bring in, see, this is block H, and I'm going to pick that up. You could probably use block D, but I'm going to go ahead and use block H. And again, I'm going to use the Misty Moonlight. And I am going to make a little banner, so I'm going to go ahead and place this a little bit to the left. Straight down and straight up. Then I'll bring in the banner. Actually, I'm going to bring in the tailored tag punch, and that's how I'm going to make my banner. So I'm just going to place our sentiment right in here and try to get it even. And when I say even, this mark right here to be so the same amount of cardstock on the left and the right of this point. And I can kind of see here too where my cardstock is. And there we go. Lay that aside. Actually, do you see that little piece right there? So I'm going to go ahead and put it back in. And we're just going to go ahead and make this just a little bit shorter, which is fine. And that's much better. Okay. Then I'm going to bring in Misty Moonlight, and this is 3 3/4 by 1 1/2. And I'm going to layer this behind my sentiment. So I want to go ahead and make a banner on that also, or make it into a banner at the end. So let's see if we can line this up. And I still have some very vanilla in there, so we don't want that. Okay. So I'm going to bring it down just a little bit more than I did last time so I can make sure I get those edges. There we go. Perfect. And this way I can layer these on top of each other, just like that. Okay, I'm going to be using Crumb Cake. So you'll need a piece of Crumb Cake, 3 by 4. And then you're going to need 2 by 4. Oh, yes, that's right. And then this piece here is 2 1/8 by 2 1/8. So we have one little square. So 3 by 4, 2 by 4, and 2 1/8 by 2 1/8. Now these, the 2 and 4 and by 3 and by 4, you can make it just a smidgen less than 4. So if you want to, on these two, on the Crumb Cake. Then I'm going to bring in our Designer Series paper, and this is 2 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then we have 1 3/4 by 3 7/8. And this is 1 7/8 by 1 7/8. And let's bring our card base in, and let's go ahead and put our card together. And I'm going to bring in a silicone craft sheet. And the first thing I'm going to do is just layer the Designer Series paper on our Crumb Cake layer. So we're just going to layer those together. And I'll grab my liquid glue. And we will, sometimes you haven't used your glue, it'll kind of clump up there and you have to kind of take that off. Let me grab another one. So see what I mean? You can see right here, and I used this one yesterday. I had grabbed the wrong one just now, but it does. Sometimes you just kind of have to peel that off, and then you should be ready to go. Need a thin layer, And then we'll line this up, get it as even as we can. And I'll just real quickly go ahead and do the same with the other two. So I've added my liquid glue, and then we'll just go ahead and place this down. And I like to sometimes just kind of hold it over on the one side until I make sure that I have it even before I press it down. And our last DSP that we're going to add to the crumb cake layer. Get that squared away. And now we'll bring in our card base, and we will start with this larger piece, and it's going to go right over here on the left. And I will add some adhesive, and then we'll place that right here and get it lined up. And I'm going to go ahead and add this piece right here. This will go in the front. Make sure I get it straight. Then we're going to open up our card, and we're going to add this piece right here. So we'll add some more liquid glue. And we want the very vanilla to show around the edges, of course. Get it straight. I want the same amount over here on the left. I think I need to go in just a little bit. I think that looks good. Sometimes I almost have to put it up to my eyes before I can hold it up, before I can tell. Move that out of the way. We might need that for their flower. So again, here's our, and then I'm going to bring in and our little flower, and we're going to attach that. You could pop this up. I don't think I'm going to on this card. I'm going to pop up our sentiment, and you could do this flower and our sentiment if you wanted to. So that's a personal preference there. So there's lots of choices when you go to make cards, which is one of the fun things, right? And I'm going to lay our little daisy flowers this way. And then I'm going to go ahead and add some liquid glue to our sentiment. And then layer that on the Misty Moonlight. And then bring in our dimensionals, and we will pop up our sentiment. So I've added 5. And then we're going to place this right down here. I think I'm going to bring it down just a little bit lower. So here we have a reminder to never forget how much you mean to me and so many others. And let's add some embellishments. I'm going to bring in our Holiday Rhinestone Basic Jewels. And we are going to pick up a couple of these smaller blue. I wasn't wanting that quite so far away, but you can pick it right up and then place it right. Well, maybe you can. I think I took the think I took the glue off, the adhesive off the bottom, so I guess it will stay right there. But I think we can just add another one right there. And then I am going to place one down here. And to get an even, or an odd number rather, we'll just place one right here. So here is our card. A reminder to never forget how much you mean to me. And then you still have room that you can write. You could also, you could use this for writing also, or you could add another designer series paper and crumb cake. And then your card sits up like this. So, a fun fold using Nature's Harvest, using Very Vanilla card base. I went over the dimensions during the video, but I also have it down below in the description. And remember that today is the last day to join my team. It's the last day for the, you can join my team anytime, but it's the last day if you want to get in on this great sale. So the starter kit is $75, and that is instead of $99. So you're able to choose $125 worth of product, pay $75 and free shipping, and be part of the Rustic Barn Stampers. So again, this is, reach out to me, my phone number, and my webpage. So call me, reach out to me, email me, and let's talk. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you like this card. Please subscribe by clicking that subscribe button and hit that bell to be notified when I upload videos. I usually am live on Tuesday at 1 p.m. Central Time, and I upload videos on Friday. Have a great week. Thank you for watching. I'm Terry Hartley at Rustic Barn Cards.